Welcome to this special episode of Return on Intelligence on Markets Plus, live from the Conference of Montreal on June 9th, with Kristin Milchanowski and Martin Durkin, Innovation Partner at Holland & Knight. The two discuss how data centers are rapidly evolving from back-office infrastructure into critical strategic assets, and what that means for capital investment, policy, and the future of AI-driven growth.
Welcome to Return on Intelligence on Markets Plus, presented by the BMO Institute for Applied Artificial Intelligence and Quantum. I'm Kristin Milchanowski, Chief AI and Quantum Officer at BMO. In this series, I sit down with global technology leaders to explore the future of innovation, data, and AI, and what it all means for decision makers in financial services.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Martin Durkin. I'm the Innovation Partner at the law firm of Holland & Knight. As the Innovation Partner, I work with a group of lawyers who are software engineers, and we actually build workflows to generate legal work product. And in doing so, we basically spend most of our days in generative AI and working in data centers. I'm excited today to talk about that intersection. Today, data centers are no longer back-office infrastructure. Now they're basically strategic national assets. With us today is Kristin Milchanowski, who's the Chief AI and Quantum Officer at BMO Financial Group. That's a title I would love to have someday, Quantum Officer. Kristin, BMO sits in an interesting spot, really being on both sides of the data center investment. You're a large data center customer. You're also financing a lot of data centers. With respect to those capital markets, where is the institutional capital going?
So BMO's open for business. We definitely are investing heavily in the data center, but smartly. So we are looking for your top tier tenants is what we're hoping to see. And that's where we do find very smart builds where they are building 100-year infrastructure, and we understand in those data centers that your chips will expire, but you want it to be built in a modular fashion so that you are building a lasting infrastructure for your communities. The ones where we hesitate, but it's more around just being disciplined with our approach, is perhaps where someone's coming more from a crypto world, or those aren't really the type of investment centers that we're looking for. But from the build side, getting my hands a bit dirty and trying to scale AI at our institution, but then also studying the global 200 companies and where they are on their journey. That discrepancy that we're highlighting here is that the data center trajectory is ginormous, but our compute usage is only up 2-3%. And so when you look at that delta behind what companies are actually achieving with the new technology, we're not able to really tie it to the trillions of dollars or the billionaire. And I want them to. And the potential is there, but it's actually not going to be just in automation and augmentation. It's going to be in taking the intelligence that you learn from the AI and embedding that into your infrastructure so that every decision you make is better, smarter, faster. So all of your financials are tied back to your strategic planning process, to your funding process, to your client decisions, your investment decisions on marketing even. But having that flywheel of intelligence built in with the AI, that's where you're going to see a direct tie-in to ROI at the end of the day. And I haven't seen a company doing that yet that isn't digitally native. Digitally native companies obviously have a head start.
We're looking at the $600 billion this year. Has the investor conversation changed over the last few years in terms of justifying that much capital going in, particularly when you hear about what's happening with compute?
The capital craves the certainty. I do fear a bit in this trajectory being a little disrupted by the policies, whether they're not being made or some of them are being made with blunt force. But I just felt like that was kind of the right moment to remind people that the capital is going to follow the predictability of things. And I do fear that there's a little bit of unpredictability.
Data centers are all front-end loaded. The cost is all up front. The revenue comes at the end. There's a significant risk allocation there. Given the potential for changing policy,
There's a switch in the AI strategy, in the Canadian AI strategy that came out and that I really like. So trust is paramount. And so that's the very first pillar. But the signal that was sent is that now it's talking about opportunity and making sure that we have that conversation within our communities, with our small businesses. But how do we have this opportunity for growth, and how do we leverage the technology for the benefit of productivity and for our people and for the workers, and creating net new jobs is a big part of the strategy as well. So I like seeing that.
Let me move off the can we build it or can we finance it to can we power it? What about the current grid that we have in place and the government policies behind expanding and regulating the grid?
The volume of power then enables someone like myself to run really powerful models for very powerful things. So we just patented a methodology to predict earthquakes. And this is something that still scientists need to take the last mile. But that is billions of records of data that we're able to run through gigawatts of power through a data center to be able to analyze. And for a bank, what does that mean to us? It means that we do over 1 billion transactions a day. And so now there's a new way to do time series and forecasting, and all of these opportunities are coming to all of us very soon so that we can think about our businesses and serving our clients in new ways. And so those are the opportunities that I get really excited about.
In terms of all the data running through, it raises an issue for me with respect to data security. What's there? The privacy of that data, and how do we protect it?
To me, that really comes down to sovereignty. And the sovereignty isn't just the data center. In fact, it's the moat around it, and it's the infrastructure, and it's all the ecosystem participants around. And so the discipline that we've had as a financial institution taking deposits for over 200 years, that same discipline and rigor is going to be needed in this infrastructure period. So the encryption, who controls the encryption around the data center? Who controls some of the decisioning authority around the data center? So this is a very large conversation. So I believe that sovereignty is not about the data center as much as it is about discipline and bringing the full ecosystem of discipline to the conversation. We've set the example. We've done it for a very long time, and we're going to continue to do it. And we're going to continue that. Good governance really enables the program.
I like it. Okay, one last thing. You can change one policy, one structural point, one industry norm over the next 2 or 3 years, something concrete to push data centers forward and to really develop data center infrastructure. What would you do?
Talent and education. So I really would love to see more policies around apprenticeships, community colleges. We need more electricians. So anything to train the educators, just raising up our workforce. We're already 500,000 short of electricians just right this second, let alone with this trajectory you're on. So education and talent is probably the ask I would have.
Very good. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining me for the panel. Thank you.
The views expressed here are those of the participants and may not necessarily represent those of BMO Capital Markets, its affiliates, or subsidiaries.
For BMO disclosures, please visit bmocm.com/podcast/disclaimer.